Hello. I wanted to take a couple seconds to test out a new program for myself, which is this screencasting extension called Loom, which allows you to see my face and see what I'm doing on my screen. So you guys are my guinea pigs today, as well as show you a Google app that we might be able to use instead of the EasyBib note card option, since it's no longer available in EasyBib. That extension that I'm talking about using is called Google Keep. So let's take a peek. I currently use it to keep track of things that I need to do in the library, as well as upcoming events that I have to try to organize. So in order to get there, what you're going to do once you're signed into Google is click on the 9 grid up in the top right corner. It's probably not going to be in this main screen because I'm assuming that you haven't used it before. Maybe you have. If you don't see it in this main screen, when you scroll down, it does in fact look just like this. There's a little light bulb on a yellow icon. All right, so you're diving into the world, the library world right now, taking a peek at how I use Google Keep. Obviously, if you haven't used it, your main screen here is going to be blank. Right away, I want to show you kind of how it's laid out. When you're adding new notes, all you have to do is type in this. It almost looks like a search bar up at the top where it says take a note. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But on my screen, you'll see that this is labeled as pinned. You have the option to pin any of your notes, and what it's going to do is pull whatever you're working on up to the top of your screen. So when you pin a note, it's going to pull it to the top. All other notes that you have, once you add them in, are just going to be a part of the lower half of the screen. So right now, this was an example that I was creating a little bit earlier. Anyway, so when I'm taking a new note, all I'm doing is clicking in this box. It's going to ask you to title your new note. So you can have your students use this however works best for you. I thought possibly for National History Day, as students are taking notes on the different areas of their National History Day topic, they might create individual notes for each area, or maybe they would use it best as just creating lists for things that they need to get done. Google Keep has a couple really neat options, such as setting up reminders, which I'll show you how to do in just a sec. So just for now, you can go ahead and experiment with the note on your screen, and I'm just going to use favorite animals because it's an easy topic. All right, so once you've typed in the main portion of your screen, some of these options along the bottom are what I'm going to look at here. I had mentioned that you can set up reminders. Maybe you want Google to send you a reminder that something is due at a certain time or needs to be accomplished. What you can do is click on this Remind Me button and decide when you want to receive a reminder. Next to that, there's a collaborator button. I thought possibly for National History Day, if your students were creating notes and you needed to look at them rather than having each individual student come up to you or print off a paper and bring it to you, they could add you as a collaborator. This would allow you to view and edit depending on what editing rights they give you. You could see what they're working on, see the notes that they're creating, and use it that way. So all you would have to do is type in that person's email that the note needed to be shared with, and you would be able to edit it. So next to that, there is a color palette. You can use this feature however you want as well. I just kind of randomly chose colors. Perhaps you could set up some color coordinating system in your classroom to symbolize that something needs to be worked on first, second, and third, or maybe if you were using it to create a story, you could have one color label the setting, one color label the theme, and then the characters. There's countless options that you could use the color coordinating for. Maybe you don't want color. Next to that, you are able to click on an image and add an image to your note. Students would be able to grab these notes from their desktop documents, Google Drive, depending on what device they're working on, whether it be their iPad or laptop. Some of those options might change. Next to the archive or the image button is an archive button. If you click on archive, it will save your note. It just won't appear on this main screen. You'll notice over on the left side of the screen, there's an archive option. If I were to archive any of my notes that I currently have, how I would get to them is just by clicking on archive. Okay. So where did we go here? Next to the archive button, there's this 3-dot icon. When you click on that, you have quite a few different options. You can add in drawings. You can get rid of the note completely. You can add labels so that it's a little easier to search for that specific note. You can add drawings. You can make copies of notes, show check boxes, kind of like the list that I have at the top of my screen. And you also can copy it to Google Docs, which I think is such a neat feature. How that would work is if you wanted this note to appear as a Google Doc, all you have to do is click on it. And if we were to open up a new tab and go to Google Docs, it would literally save your document just as your note was. So there would be a title and it would have the body of your note just as a regular Google Doc. See right here. Favorite animals. If I click on it, it's essentially the same thing that I just created in Google Keep. So that is a super neat feature. I think very leverageable depending on how you use it. Okay. So if this is a tool that you think the students would benefit from using, as they work through their National History Day research projects, or if it's something that's going to help keep you organized as a teacher, feel free to ask any questions. I'm more than willing to take your class into the library to teach them. I'm willing to come down to your classroom and just be an extra body in your class if you want to show them how to use it. It's completely up to you. I will let you dig in and experiment with it, and let me know if you need some help. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.